Hello. The Daily Chronicle is back. I took a little bit of a break yesterday. I had a deadline for my TEDx speech, and I worked on that most of the day, and I was exhausted. So I took the night off. So let's begin the Daily Chronicle. Just to be clear, again, I just want to put out this reminder. A couple of things. One is, this is a chronicle. It is a memoir of what happened to me 10 years ago. I've noticed in a couple of the comments that some of you think that this is a current thing that's happening, and it's not. It's what happened 10 years ago when my husband was dying. The second thing I wanted to mention is that it is 10 years ago, and I am actually shocked at the things that I am remembering. Mostly I'm remembering the feeling things, the way I felt about things. I'm certainly not remembering the details, like who was around when, and just detail things like that. So forgive me if I have left you out of the story or I haven't remembered certain things. I can't remember every detail. And I didn't really write this down, so I'm doing this from memory. Okay, where are we? 2 days ago, Terry came home from the hospital, and he's now in hospice care. He was really happy to be home. And all the kids are there, and Terry's sister is there. And I can't remember, I think Debbie and George came first. And I know George helped me a lot with papers and things and finding things. And Karen came and was just incredible help. She helped with meals and shopping and being with Terry when I couldn't be. And I mean, she was an incredible help. They both were. And I was so blessed that they came out and were able to spend time with their brother, spend time with us, and help as much as they did. But at this point, Terry is home. He cannot do much. In fact, it may be today that we had a wheelchair. Hospice had dropped off a wheelchair. And we encouraged him to get in the wheelchair so we could wheel him around the house and maybe take him outside for a minute, because he hadn't been outside in such a long time. And he got the energy to do that. We had to help him a lot into the chair. And we wheeled him out into the living room and into the den. But being that upright was too much for him. He got very dizzy and nauseated, and he really couldn't handle the little teeny tiny outing out of his bed. So we got him back and put him back in the bed and made him comfortable. And that was the last time he left the bed. At this point, he's very yellow. He looks like a banana, quite frankly. He was very yellow because his liver was cancer. Just had such a big tumor in it. It wasn't operating properly. And the interesting thing about this is that my dad died of liver cancer. And even though Terry didn't have liver cancer, he had cancer in his liver. And I kind of knew what to expect, having watched my dad die. And yes, the jaundice was certainly the beginning of that. But with liver cancer and your liver not functioning, other liver diseases, what happens is your liver can't process the toxins, and so they start to accumulate in your brain. And eventually you, for lack of a more technical term, you go cuckoo. That's what happened to my daddy. The toxins built up in his brain, and he started to hallucinate and get very, very agitated. And he started babbling, not making any sense. But he was definitely in his own world. And so I was bracing myself that was what was going to happen to Terry, that he was going to lose his mental faculties towards the end. So I was in anticipation of that, having lived through that with my dad. But at this point, he's been home 2 days. His food of choice is popsicles. He's not really able to eat very much. He has no appetite. And hospice is coming every day. And of course, the hospice nurses are angels on earth, and they're helping us deal with his incredible denial, because the kids are wanting to talk to him and say goodbye, and every time they go in to talk to him, he's like, no, don't want to hear it. I'm going to be here a long time, and don't you worry, and that kind of thing. So it was difficult. And the other thing is there is a constant stream of visitors as well. People flying in from out of town to come and see Terry and say goodbye. He had so many friends. He had Dartmouth friends and high school friends and radio business friends and golfing friends. And oh my gosh, he had so many friends. So people are coming to the house, and he is doing okay, but by the end of the day, he's exhausted. It took a lot of energy that he just didn't have. But he would put on a great face for people. And he had such a great sense of humor. And he was still cracking his jokes and making people laugh. And they would walk out of the room and look at me and say, well, he's just doing so great. And I said, yeah, he really is. All right, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow.